If you're suffering from vertigo or bouts of nausea and dizziness that seem to come out of nowhere, then I want you to try this quick at-home test. All you have to do is stand up straight with your feet together on the ground, and then just close your eyes. Does it feel like the room is starting to spin, like you might fall? If so, then you urgently need to watch this very important video, because according to leading medical doctors from Washington School of Medicine in St. Louis, Harvard, and Johns Hopkins, if you feel even slightly off balance when trying this at-home test, or even if you get struck by attacks of vertigo at least twice per month, then it's extremely likely that there's an unusual culprit to blame. Loose calcium crystals floating inside your inner ear that cause your brain's internal leveler to go from this to this. Now, I'll explain exactly why this is happening in this video. And much more importantly, you'll also see exactly what you need to do to stop them from wreaking havoc on your sense of balance in as little as a few short days from now. Something that targets vertigo at the source and stops you from feeling like you're spending each day walking through a disorienting house of mirrors at a carnival, so that you never again have to clutch onto furniture or walls as you move around the house, worried the room will start violently spinning. Instead, you'll find yourself smiling and laughing freely again as you get back to driving, shopping, exercising, working, or doing whatever it is you want to be doing, because you're no longer a slave to your nausea and dizziness. Hey, it's Frank here, and in this video, I'm going to reveal the surprisingly effective 7-second chewing trick. A breakthrough discovery by scientists from the Washington University School of Medicine and Johns Hopkins, which swiftly and permanently puts an end to your debilitating vertigo attacks, freeing you from the constant fear of another episode when you least expect it, having to spend days in bed as the room spins around you, and constantly feeling like you're going to vomit when you're at home or in a public place. The moment you start using this chewing trick, you'll once again live without the constant worry of losing your balance. Free yourself from that gut-wrenching fear of being alone during another dizzy spell, and you'll never again experience the humiliation of strangers staring as you struggle to steady yourself, or the crushing disappointment on your kids' or grandkids' faces when you can't play with them. Most important of all, you'll finally discover that your sudden dizziness attacks are not your fault, that they have nothing to do with your diet choices, lifestyle, or even faulty genetics, because this chewing trick tackles the true root cause of your vertigo, something that I can guarantee your doctor has never told you about. This is such a simple and easy fix that everyone from pharmaceutical companies to the doctors who are on their payroll would rather you didn't know it exists. This fix has nothing to do with traditional medicines, risky surgeries, or complicated exercises. In just a few moments from now, I'll reveal the surprising culprit behind your vertigo attacks. Plus, I'll also show you how you can regain control of your balance forever, so that day after day and night after night, you can sleep peacefully without waking up to a spinning room. Enjoy doing activities you love, like playing golf, taking your dog out for a walk, or even going on a pleasurable drive around town, all without any worry about an unexpected vertigo episode. In fact, this breakthrough method is shown to reduce the frequency and severity of vertigo episodes by 97% on average. And while I know those are some pretty bold promises, I feel utterly confident making them, because not only did this 7-second chewing trick work with my wife, Martha, after a terrifying incident in our backyard left her lying alone in the dirt, bleeding and unable to move, it has also been used by more than 90,000 individuals from all walks of life. People who had been living in constant fear as their vertigo made it impossible to lead a normal life, and who now say their sudden bouts of dizziness and unsteadiness have disappeared entirely. Like Susan in Seattle.
I've battled vertigo for years. Medications, exercises, you name it, I've tried it. Nothing worked. And after I watched your video, the 7-second chewing trick, everything changed. I no longer had to plan my days around my unexpected attacks. I could go about my day normally, and most days, I forget I ever had vertigo.
And John in Chicago.
Doc, I gotta be honest with you. I was skeptical at first. The only reason I watched your video or tried the technique you mentioned is because I felt desperate. I honestly could not believe how fast it worked. It's like I've got a whole new lease on life. I'm sleeping better, and I don't worry about getting dizzy when I'm alone anymore. It completely fixed my dizziness. That's a huge relief to me, and I know my family is just as grateful as I am.
And Jennifer in Pennsylvania.
I've been suffering from vertigo for years, and I tried everything, and nothing really worked for me. But all I can say is that I feel like my old self again. I'm just 7 weeks into using your solution, and my dizziness is gone, and I no longer have anxiety. Yesterday, I took my grandkids on a carousel ride. Thank you so much.
Now it's your turn to join these incredible individuals, because once you see the groundbreaking science behind this inexpensive solution for yourself, I'm sure you'll be excited to give it a try. The only thing you have to do is stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal the 60-second at-home balance test in full detail, exposing the true culprit behind your vertigo attacks. Even if your doctor, numerous neurology tests, and MRIs haven't given you the answer yet. The bizarre link between organic eggs and your worst instances of dizziness and nausea. And last but not least, you'll discover a simple 7-second chewing trick that can completely restore your balance, eliminate vertigo attacks, and give you a new lease on life, just like it has for over 90,000 people and counting. So let's get started right now. Like I said, my name is Frank, and I've been blessed to share my life with my beautiful wife Martha through more than 20 years of marriage. We've built a life full of love, laughter, and countless memories. We raised 2 wonderful children, and now we're proud grandparents to 4 lively grandkids. But a few years ago, our peaceful life was shattered when Martha began to suffer from bouts of dizziness and vertigo. At first, it was just occasional unsteadiness. We'd be walking in the park and Martha would suddenly grip my arm tightly. Then she'd laugh it off, blaming it on her new pair of shoes or a hidden dip in the path. But soon, these episodes became more frequent and severe. Martha would wake up in the middle of the night, clutching the bedpost, her face white. She'd tell me like she felt the room was spinning, and she was scared she would fall and hurt herself. Soon she started declining invitations to go shopping with her friends, fearful of a sudden dizziness attack in public. Our grandchildren would beg her to play with them, but she'd say she was too tired, when really she was afraid she might fall and scare them. And it broke my heart to see her like this. Martha was always a vibrant, independent woman, but now she was becoming increasingly isolated and afraid of her own body. I could see her disappointment when she had to cancel plans and the constant shame of feeling that she was becoming a burden to me and our family. Her warm smile, her infectious laughter, her love for spending time with our grandkids, it was all slipping away because these sudden attacks of dizziness that made her clutch onto the nearest surface to regain her balance. Of course, Martha and I sought help from doctors and specialists. We tried everything. Expensive medications that promised relief, but only left her with a dry mouth, blurred vision, and ironically worsened her dizziness. Alternative treatments like acupuncture and vitamins, which provided only a fleeting sense of relief, or didn't work at all. Then there were the restrictive diets, low salts, gluten-free, you name it. Martha tried it, but they were tough to stick to, and it didn't seem to stop vertigo episodes at all. We also spent a small fortune and countless hours going through CT scans, MRIs, and EEG tests, only to have these so-called specialists tell us the results were once again inconclusive. One doctor even told Martha it may all be in her head and had the gall to ask her if she'd consider seeing a psychiatrist. Martha became so desperate that she even considered ear canal surgery. But the risks seemed even worse than her vertigo symptoms. From major infections that could spread throughout her body and into her brain, to suffering from loud, blaring, ringing in her ears 24 hours a day, or even worse, completely losing her ability to hear at all. Could you imagine spending $40,000 on a risky surgery with no guarantees to cure your dizziness, and then ending up deaf as a result? It seemed like everything we tried was a dead end, a hopeless battle. As the woman who once filled our lives with laughter and love was now trapped in a world that wouldn't stop spinning. And the worst episode of all came when Martha was all alone, with no one to help her. It was the most terrifying moment of both our lives. And yet, looking back now, Martha and I are both glad that it happened, because otherwise we never would have discovered the strange 7-second chewing trick that put an end to her debilitating vertigo attacks. The same trick that has already helped over 90,000 people do the same. Just imagine sleeping peacefully through the night without the fear of waking up in a spinning room. The joy of playing with your kids or grandkids without worrying you'll fall in front of them. Or just the simple pleasure of going out in public and feeling confident you'll never again suffer the embarrassment of a dizzy spell while strangers walk by. That's what's possible when you begin using the 7-second chew trick, which is why I'm so excited to share it with you right now. Like I said, the way Martha stumbled on this breakthrough couldn't have been scarier for us. You see, it was a beautiful Sunday morning, and Martha was out in our front yard tending to her beloved flowers. On this day, she needed to trim a particularly high branch on her favorite rose bush. And then it happened. Like a cruel joke, a sudden wave of dizziness washed over her. Martha dropped the trimmers and fell backwards, right into a patch of thorny bushes, and only a few inches away from the hard pavement. A few people from across the street saw what happened and ran over to help her. And when I came outside, I found her there, unconscious, her clothes torn, her skin scratched and bleeding. The sight of her there, helpless, was like a knife in the gut. Rushing her to the hospital, my heart pounded in my chest. And when she finally opened her eyes a few hours later, surrounded by our children sitting by her bedside, I saw something on Martha's face that broke my heart. She was scared, a victim. The doctor said she was lucky, that she could have been seriously injured, blinded even, by falling on those thorns. But that did not provide any comfort for Martha. The truth was, she felt humiliated, like she had lost control, like she was a burden, like her independence, something she valued so much, was slipping away. And if someone had told me then that in just a few weeks we would stumble upon this simple yet incredibly effective 7-second chewing technique that would not only free Martha from the chains of her vertigo, but also help over 90,000 other men and women regain their balance and independence, I would have thought they were dreaming. But that's exactly what happened. So let me explain. It was a few days after Martha's incident. I was dragging our trash cans to the curb, lost in my worries, haunted by the image of Martha lying helpless in the thorny bushes, when a woman from across the street approached me. I realized she was the same woman who had rushed over to help Martha after she fell, and she introduced herself as Helen, our new neighbor across the street. Then she said something that made my heart skip a beat. "I've been thinking a lot about Martha's accident," she said, and then lowered her voice to a whisper, "and her struggles with vertigo. It really breaks my heart, because I used to be the exact same way. It dominated my life for years, but not anymore." Then she told me about Dr. Peter Anderson, a highly decorated expert with advanced degrees from one of the world's leading medical schools near Boston. She spoke of him with such reverence, such gratitude, going so far to say that he had given her a new lease on life. Then Helen handed me a small piece of paper. She had written Dr. Anderson's name and contact information on it. "You should reach out to him," she said, her eyes meeting mine. "He changed my life. Maybe he can help Martha too." I was skeptical, of course, and when I told Martha what had happened, I could see the doubt in her eyes too. But then, to my surprise, she said that there wasn't anything to lose anyway, and she thought we should give him a call. So we dialed the doctor's number the very next morning. And I admit, I was a bit anxious and surprised when Dr. Anderson picked up right away. He seemed a little bit gruff and to the point at first. But once I explained how I'd gotten this number and shared Martha's struggle with vertigo, Dr. Anderson's voice immediately softened. He said that he was confident he could help Martha regain her balance. And since his clinic was just a 9-minute drive from our home, he suggested that we visit him that same week. And so, a few days later, there we were, in Dr. Anderson's office, surrounded by his numerous degrees and accolades, trying hard not to feel overwhelmed or intimidated, especially when he casually mentioned that before moving back to his hometown to care for his elderly parents, he'd spent a decade leading a globally recognized medical research center in Boston. Then, after listening to Martha's story and how many solutions we had tried and all turned out to be a big fat dead ends, Dr. Anderson asked us a simple question. "Have you ever heard of something called autocondia before?" he asked. Well, we both shook our heads no. And Dr. Anderson said that was okay, since most people hadn't. He explained that autocondia are these tiny little calcium crystals that are inside our ears. They look like this under a microscope, and when it comes to balance and whether you can stand straight without feeling dizzy or not, these autochondria are actually a really big deal. Now, at first I didn't quite understand why he was saying that, but Dr. Anderson was very patient. He told us that researchers at the Washington University School of Medicine and Johns Hopkins had recently discovered that there is something called this otolithic membrane deep inside your ear, which is like our body's very own internal leveler. And this membrane is covered with these tiny calcium crystals called autochondria. He told us that the singular job of these crystals is to help your brain understand the position and movement of your head so that you can maintain your equilibrium and not feel dizzy. Here's a picture of your inner ear that can help you understand. As you can see, the autochondria, aka calcium crystals, are attached to the otolithic membrane. And when everything is working fine, these crystals send accurate signals to your brain about the position and movement of your head, acting like a natural leveler, helping you keep balance at all times, just like this. Then Dr. Anderson explained how in that groundbreaking study from the Washington University School of Medicine he mentioned, they'd found that as we age, these autochondria crystals can begin to break loose from the otolithic membrane and start floating around and attaching to other parts of your inner ear. He said that when that happens, it confuses your brain, making it think the leveler is crooked, even if your head is perfectly still, or that you're moving when you're not, or that you're tilted to one side when you're standing straight. And that study was just the first of many that have come out since, the doctor said. He told us that everyone from Johns Hopkins to Harvard University has published findings about these autochondria crystals. You can see what this whole process looks like here. Those tiny white dots are these autochondria crystals he's talking about. And you can see how some of them are starting to float into the inner ear canal, where they disrupt your balance, make you nauseous, and cause it to feel like the room is always spinning. That's what's behind not just Martha's vertigo, but everyone's, Dr. Anderson told us. Because these loose autochondria essentially scramble the signals being sent to your brain. Suddenly, up feels like down, and down feels like up, and your sense of balance goes from being like this to this. Isn't that fascinating? And then Dr. Anderson said there was even a very simple at-home test anyone can try to see if these loose autochondria crystals that are causing their balance issues too. It's called the Romberg test. And you can try it now if you want. Just make sure you're in a safe place. All you have to do is stand upright with your feet together, your arms at your side, and your eyes open. Then just close your eyes for 60 seconds. If you're finding that you have difficulty maintaining balance with your eyes closed, it's usually a sign of loose autochondria in your inner ear, causing the feeling of dizziness and disorientation. And Dr. Anderson explained that this is why most solutions for vertigo fail to provide any real long-term relief. They don't target the dislodged autochondria crystals, even though that's what's scrambling the signals and causing the leveler in your brain to get off kilter in the first place. And if you're wondering why these crystals in your inner ear would dislodge and float around, he said that in addition to the usual suspects like aging and natural wear and tear, everything from using Q-tips too often to seemingly harmless things like getting water trapped in your ear after swimming or taking a shower can all dislodge these crystals, sending them into your inner ear canal, where they scramble the signals to your brain and make you feel dizzy and unbalanced. Dr. Anderson explained that is why it's not your fault. There's almost nothing you could have done to prevent it. As Dr. Anderson finished sharing all of this, Martha and I both sat there stunned, wondering why nobody else, not even doctors, had ever mentioned anything like this to Martha or me before, even though there was a whole avalanche of scientific evidence all proving that these loose crystals were the real cause of her vertigo. So, did the researchers at Harvard or Johns Hopkins find a solution, doctor? Martha asked. Dr. Anderson explained that these researchers don't aim to fix health problems, only to give more insight about the real causes behind them. But after seeing all of the eye-opening evidence, he decided to take it on himself and create his own unique solution. I was bracing myself for Dr. Anderson to suggest some kind of risky surgery, but to my astonishment, he told us that actually eliminating the vertigo and regaining your balance is far simpler than most people imagine. In fact, it's entirely painless, and it doesn't cost an arm and a leg either. All this research into autochondria crystals has been a godsend, he said, because now we understand what's truly causing our balance issues. We also know how to tackle the problem directly. Dr. Anderson then explained that if you really want to regain your stability and restore your life back to normal, you only have to do two things. First, you'll have to re-strengthen the otolithic membrane so that these autochondria crystals don't chip off and cause problems in the first place, and instead stay in place right where they're supposed to be. And second, you have to dissolve the existing autochondria crystals that have dislodged and are currently floating around in your inner ear. Do that, and you'll immediately restore your body's natural ability to maintain balance, Dr. Anderson said. And he told us this was precisely what the treatment he'd given to our neighbor Helen did. It was something he'd been developing ever since that groundbreaking research from Washington University School of Medicine, Johns Hopkins, and Harvard first emerged. And to his knowledge, he was the only person on the planet who had devised a solution that actually dissolves rogue autochondria crystals floating around in the inner ear, re-strengthens the otolithic membrane, and restores the body's natural ability to maintain balance for good. So far, for every single patient who has used his creation, the results have been nothing short of miraculous. One of his patients, Annie, had suffered from such extreme vertigo that she'd spent several days in bed each month, her eyes closed, unable to focus on anything, and yet within a few short weeks, her dizziness was gone entirely. And he told us about another one of his patients named Mark, whose vertigo had made him extremely nauseous, and how within the first 9 days of using the solution, Dr. Anderson had given him his balance and vertigo had completely disappeared. And it's not just the physical symptoms either, Dr. Anderson said with a smile. It's the fact that their fear, anxiety, and feelings of helplessness evaporated as well, giving these men and women a renewed sense of independence and control over their lives. So just imagine it, being able to enjoy your day without feeling that the ground beneath your feet is shifting, going an entire week carefree and in control without having to spend days in bed, avoiding bright lights or feeling like the room is spinning when you open your eyes, or simply taking a walk in the park with your loved one, no longer worrying about sudden bouts of dizziness that leave you nauseous and unbalanced. That's what Dr. Anderson's solution has done for over 90,000 people and counting. And to our surprise, he said that this entire solution boiled down to a group of natural extracts and compounds, each of which has been shown in multiple scientific studies to penetrate deep into your inner ear and dissolve the rogue autochondria crystals floating around, and re-strengthen the otolithic membrane so that these crystals no longer break off and wreak havoc on your body's ability to maintain balance and steadiness. Dr. Anderson then proceeded to tell me which each of these compounds was, and I'll share them with you right now too. That way you can start using them for yourself immediately. First, Dr. Anderson told us that the solution he'd created contained cholecalciferol. He explained that in the world of medical sciences, cholecalciferol is often hailed as the guardian of balance because for decades it's been used as a cornerstone in the fight against dizziness and vertigo throughout the world. Then Dr. Anderson explained that while cholecalciferol is gaining recognition in the United States, the cholecalciferol in his formula was fundamentally different on a molecular level. It was much purer than anything you'd find in the US, unless you had access to a high-tech lab somewhere, like the one he had used to work at near Boston. And he was adamant that the purity made all the difference, because in several studies from renowned institutions like the esteemed Department of Medicine at the University of Ottawa in Ontario, Canada, scientists studied the effects of this pure cholecalciferol, and they were stunned by just how powerful it was in re-strengthening the otolithic membrane, our body's natural leveler. Pure cholecalciferol literally halts the disintegration of the otolithic membrane in your inner ear, Dr. Anderson told me, his eyes lighting up with excitement, which means those autochondria crystals never get loose in the first place. He handed me a study published in the Journal of Neurology as he spoke, where experts detailed how cholecalciferol could repair the otolithic membrane, leading to improved balance and a drastic reduction in vertigo episodes as a result. Dr. Anderson then went on to share how, in a major clinical trial published in the prestigious journal Nature, subjects who took cholecalciferol were 86% less likely to suffer from vertigo or dizziness than the placebo group. But that's just the start. There's another critical ingredient in our formula. Dr. Anderson then introduced me to a unique form of red marine algae. He explained that this wasn't your run-of-the-mill Aquamin algae because it was harvested from the pure, untouched waters of the Icelandic coastline and contained a plethora of unique sea minerals that play a crucial role in dissolving these tiny autochondria crystals in our inner ear that cause vertigo. In a major study of 957 people conducted in South Korea, it was found that this unique Icelandic red algae, which combined with cholecalciferol, virtually eliminated vertigo symptoms and occurrences in nearly all subjects. And remember, that's just the first 2 ingredients, Dr. Anderson said. The next one is even more effective at re-strengthening the otolithic membrane and stopping vertigo attacks from occurring in the first place. And with that, Dr. Anderson moved on to the next compound in his formula. It's known as pyridoxal 5-phosphate. Dr. Anderson explained that pyridoxal 5-phosphate, a special form of vitamin B6, plays a critical role in the health of the otolithic membrane, the leveler in our inner ear that gives us our sense of balance. And that's not all. He showed me a double-blind clinical trial published in the National Library of Medicine, where 2 separate teams of world-renowned scientists found that pyridoxal 5-phosphate remarkably reduced the symptoms in patients suffering from dizziness and vertigo and the nausea that comes with it. While in another major study involving 134 women suffering from BPPV, a common type of vertigo, the severity and frequency of their bouts of dizziness were reduced by nearly 67% after taking this special form of vitamin B6. And the results didn't stop there, because yet another major study published in the Journal of Infectious Disease found something truly astonishing. When they gave this potent, purified form of B6 to a group of 280 patients, these patients experienced an incredible 75.07% reduction in the number of occurrences of dizziness and vertigo. Isn't that amazing? And Dr. Anderson said, when you combine the powerful effects of pyridoxal 5-phosphate with the special form of red marine algae and the cholecalciferol that he just told us about, it virtually guarantees you'll regain your balance and stability as your otolithic membrane, that leveler inside your brain, gets re-strengthened and those rogue autochondria crystals in your inner ear dissolve and disappear. And yet, as powerful as these 3 compounds are, they only make up a small portion of several miracle compounds that Dr. Anderson's laboratory had identified. Isn't that exciting? Just imagine being able to walk confidently again without the fear of a sudden vertigo attack, and being able to enjoy your children or grandchildren's company without the worry of an episode. Isn't that something to look forward to? Well, let me tell you about the unique compound Dr. Anderson shared with me next. A very potent form of collagen that's derived from free-range organic eggshell. Dr. Anderson said that these eggshells are naturally rich in calcium and other essential minerals. And pure eggshell collagen is also extremely bioavailable, meaning it's easily absorbed and utilized by the body. Then Dr. Anderson explained how pure eggshell collagen has the power to strengthen and rebuild the otolithic membrane, the body's natural leveler, which keeps those tiny autochondria crystals in place. And not just that, it also helps to replace the crystals that have dissolved over time. This is crucial, he said, because it's the weakening of this membrane that causes those crystals to come loose, knocking your biological leveler out of sync and causing all that dizziness and unsteadiness. Then he told us about a groundbreaking 2021 study published by the University of Tokyo's esteemed Department of Applied Biological Chemistry, where scientists found that pure eggshell collagen drastically improved something called calcium signaling, which is the exact process that happens inside your ears when those crystals are communicating effectively with your brain, telling it to keep you balanced. And he said that in the 2022 study, published in the Journal of Molecular and Cellular Toxicology, they found that eggshell collagen helped to rebuild the inner ear membrane in a dramatic fashion too, which you can see for yourself here. This first image on the left shows the inner ear membrane after 30 days of using this special form of pure eggshell collagen. The second one in the middle shows the membrane after 60 days, and the third one on the right shows the membrane after 120 days. Isn't that incredible? The membrane has been entirely rebuilt. which means it's now able to hold those autochondria crystals in place again, so they don't go rogue and leave you feeling dizzy and off kilter. So just imagine pure eggshell collagen, along with cholecalciferol, Icelandic red marine algae, and pyridoxal 5-phosphate, all working together inside your body, strengthening and rebuilding your otolithic membrane, dissolving those rogue autochondria crystals floating around in your ear, and restoring your balance and stability. How much could your life change? How many more games could you play with your grandchildren? And how many more walks could you take in the park? How many more social events could you attend without the fear of a vertigo attack? Probably a lot. But Dr. Anderson still wasn't finished. He said that his formula also contained a potent form of marine collagen sourced from the clearest oceans, a unique form of zinc called zinc L-kerosene, a special type of organic pineapple powder, American ginseng root powder, organic papaya powder, along with a special complex of vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. And he said that all of those ingredients had been shown in dozens of studies to strengthen and rebuild the otolithic membrane and dissolve loose autochondria crystals, leading to an average of 46% fewer cases of dizziness, nausea, and feeling off balance in those who took them. As Dr. Anderson finished sharing each of those ingredients with us, I couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement. But there was one question that was burning in my mind. Would this formula really work for Martha? After seeing all the scientific studies that prove just how effective these special ingredients were for restoring balance and eliminating vertigo, and hearing about the success stories from Dr. Anderson's patients, I knew it should. But we'd been let down so many times before that we were both afraid to get our hopes up. Dr. Anderson said he understood our concerns, but after trying so many different solutions, what did we really have to lose? Then he handed Martha a bottle that he said contained a careful blend of each of the ingredients he told us about, and he said Martha should chew one candy daily and to reach out to him in 30 days with an update. So that night, as Martha was getting ready for bed, I watched as she took out the first chewable. It was easy to chew, and she actually really liked the taste. Then all we could do was wait. After the first few days, there wasn't much change. Martha still had to cancel her weekly book club because she was too afraid she'd have another vertigo attack. She still avoided going out in public on her own and stayed in bed many hours during the day. And more than once, Martha told me that she was worried that what Dr. Anderson had given her would just be another dead end. Honestly, I was nervous too. But I also remembered Dr. Anderson's words about how those loose autochondria crystals wouldn't just dissolve overnight. And so we decided to stick with it. And boy, am I glad we did. Because around the 7th day, I noticed something different. Martha was standing a bit steadier, and she didn't reach for my arm as quickly as she used to. It was a small change, but a change nonetheless. And after a couple of weeks, we managed to go out for a walk around the neighborhood together without any sudden episodes of dizziness, which might seem like a small deal, but this was something Martha had been scared to do for much of the last year. She was still cautious, but she was doing it. And as time passed, the changes became more and more pronounced. Martha was no longer declining invitations to see her friends. In fact, she was calling them to make plans to go shopping together. She was even talking about rejoining her book club. She was no longer spending whole days in bed with the lights off, feeling like the room was spinning and worried she was going to vomit. And after a few more weeks, Martha was a completely different person. She was walking with confidence. She was laughing more. She was herself again. The transformation was simply incredible. Martha went from being a woman who was afraid to be alone, who was constantly on edge, waiting for the next vertigo attack, to a woman who was enjoying life again, who was making plans, who was living without fear. And it wasn't just us who noticed the changes. Our children couldn't believe how much she had improved in such a short time. And our grandchildren, they were overjoyed that Grandma could play with them again. Each compliment, each smile directed at Martha, each sigh of relief, they were testaments to her incredible transformation. But perhaps the most incredible moment for me occurred a few months later, when I found Martha in our garden fearlessly trimming her rose bush while balancing on a stepladder again. A moment that told me once and for all the transformation was complete. My Martha was back to her old self again. It was like our world had been turned upside down, but in the best possible way. And it was all thanks to the incredibly powerful formula that Dr. Anderson had given her. A formula where all Martha had to do was chew one candy each day, and her vertigo and all the symptoms that came with it were gone entirely. It was truly shocking just how easy and effective it was, almost like a magic trick, which is why Martha started referring to what Dr. Anderson had given her as her little 7-second chewing trick, since that was all it took to rid herself of the dizziness, spinning, and nausea forever. And after witnessing this profound change, all thanks to Dr. Anderson's 7-second chewing trick, I knew it was my duty and mission to share this miracle with others. So I dialed Dr. Anderson's number. I told him that Martha's transformation had been remarkable. Her vertigo spells had all but vanished, and she'd even started gardening again and attending her weekly book club with 0 episodes. I told him that I genuinely believed others could benefit from this solution as well. Could we help them get rid of vertigo for good and regain their independence again? There was silence from the other end, and my heart pounded in my chest. To my relief, he responded positively, his voice brimming with excitement. Dr. Anderson had always focused on helping his patients one-on-one, yet he agreed that this was the right time to share his unique formula beyond his local practice. So we took on the task of finding the best manufacturers who could represent Dr. Anderson's stringent product requirements and handle the special ingredients in his formula with the utmost care. Then we spent countless months sourcing the purest forms of each of these compounds in Dr. Anderson's formula. And we even leveraged the scale of our order to gain access to even higher grade ingredients that were generally exclusive to prestigious labs and universities like Harvard and MIT. Next, we reached out to men and women in online forums who had shared their struggles with BPPV and vertigo. We found people who had been living in constant fear of falling, people who had given up their cherished hobbies, and even people who felt like burdens to their loved ones due to their persistent dizziness attacks. Our aim was to find participants for our test group, and the feedback we received was incredible. Like Robert in Texas.
I had become a prisoner in my own home. I was afraid to venture out alone, worried that a vertigo attack could hit me out of nowhere. Since trying these chewables, I've seen such a significant change. I can walk to the park with no fear. They've given me my freedom back.
And Anna in Maine.
I couldn't even bend to play with my grandkids without feeling like the room was spinning. But with this formula, things have changed dramatically. I was in the swimming pool just last week, and I've had no episodes. It's literally changed my life.
And a gentleman named Mark.
I was living with constant anxiety, unsure when the next vertigo attack would strike. But these chewables have made such a difference. Since I've been using them, I haven't had an episode. Now, I can relax and enjoy my life again.
Hearing these testimonials was incredibly satisfying. And now, I can't wait to share Dr. Anderson's breakthrough formula with you so that you can join the more than 90,000 folks who have reclaimed their independence, regained their balance, and stopped the relentless bouts of dizziness. We named this breakthrough formula VertiAid, and it's a cutting-edge formula for anyone who's been grappling with the frequent bouts of dizziness, unsteadiness, nausea, or vertigo. This game-changing formula works to strengthen the otolithic membrane, the body's natural leveler, so it keeps those autochondria crystals in place and quickly dissolves any loose crystals floating around in your inner ear. From the moment you start using it, you'll notice a remarkable change unfolding. Within just days, you'll start to feel a noticeable improvement in your balance. Your footing will become steady, whether you're standing still or moving about. Your frequent episodes of dizziness will stop happening, and the feeling of being on a never-ending roller coaster ride will start to fade away. It'll be as though your world is gradually regaining its balance, a world that's ripe with possibilities, because your unpredictable vertigo no longer makes you feel confined or isolated. Simply chew one candy per day. That's all it takes to regain your balance and control. We use only the purest ingredients in this balance-fixing breakthrough. Every ingredient is tested and certified for purity by third-party labs to ensure the highest quality. This means our solution doesn't contain toxins or harmful metals, and it's crafted with care and precision in a state-of-the-art facility that follows all the rules set by the FDA and complies with the Good Manufacturing Processes, GMP. This balance fixing breakthrough is also proudly made in the USA. Honestly, it's no surprise that since we released it to the public, it's been flying off the shelves. In just 4 months, we've sold over 183,000 bottles, and that number is growing every day. People all over the USA who've been living in fear of their next vertigo attack finally have a natural solution that works. But with such high demand, it's only a matter of time before we run out. And since our premium natural ingredients come from all over the world, including remote regions of Europe and Asia, restocking will take us a long time. That's why it's crucial that you secure as much of this balance fixing formula as possible right now. The last thing we want for you is to interrupt your treatment before your balance has been fully restored, because in that case, those loose autochondria crystals that control your balance will start wreaking havoc once again. In fact, from what we've seen and what our customers tell us, the best results are seen when someone uses this balance fixing breakthrough for at least 180 days. This gives you the best chance at regaining your balance while ensuring that the natural leveler inside your ear remains strong and those autochondria crystals stay in place for years and years to come. Don't let your unsteady balance win. Secure your supply today and say goodbye to those frequent bouts of dizziness and vertigo forever. We've gone to great lengths to ensure that this product is affordable to every American who needs it. After sourcing the best ingredients, negotiating production, and keeping costs low, I'm proud to offer you this life-changing anti-vertigo breakthrough at the lowest possible price. You'll never have to spend your hard-earned money on another round of ineffective medications or endure side effects or ineffective treatments again. But please keep in mind, this balance-fixing breakthrough is exclusively available on this website, and only while our limited supplies last. We have no intention of mass-producing this breakthrough anti-vertigo formula on an industrial scale, as that could potentially compromise its quality. Our commitment is to produce only as much as we can personally oversee. So if you come across this balance-restoring formula anywhere else in this website, be assured that it's not the authentic product. We will never sell in big stores, as we can't guarantee the same level of quality control on such a large scale. This breakthrough anti-vertigo formula can ensure you have perfect balance day after day. Imagine not having to fumble for support just to walk across a room or down a flight of stairs. Feeling confident when you're standing or moving around, or the joy that comes from participating in activities you love and being able to do so without feeling dizzy. With this 7-second chewing breakthrough, you'll never miss another moment. Just think of how wonderful it will be to see the smiles and relief on the faces of those you love. Wouldn't that make you feel so much more connected to friends, family, and even strangers? That's why, when you invest in this formula today, you'll pay less than you would for a 15-minute doctor's visit, countless neurology tests, and ineffective temporary solutions. Yet, unlike any of those approaches, this anti-vertigo breakthrough formula is what I believe to be the only real chance of fixing your balance for good. Plus, when you consider the fact that there's only one facility in the world that meets our quality control expectation, that each chewable contains the purest and most potent form of these ingredients on the planet, today's special low price is a bargain, if you ask me. Because this isn't about making a quick buck or just fixing my wife Martha's balance, but about all the other people like you who are tormented and frustrated by the never-ending bouts of dizziness and spinning, and who worry that if they don't do something soon, they'll end up missing out on the best parts of life. In the beginning, considering the amount of work we put in and the quality of the ingredients, Dr. Anderson and our manufacturers thought $199 per bottle would be a fair price. And while many of the 90,000 people we've helped eliminate their vertigo say that they would gladly pay even more than that, I've decided to do something a little different today. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to say goodbye to dizziness and vertigo forever. That's why I've fought tooth and nail to bring you this unique anti-vertigo solution with the biggest discount we have ever offered, only $49 per bottle. That's less than $2 a day, meaning you will fix your balance, put an end to any sudden vertigo attacks, and finally reclaim your life for less than a cup of coffee per day. However, due to the surging demand for the 7-second chewing breakthrough, this special discounted price is only available today on this webpage, and only while supplies last. For most of our customers, we strongly recommend getting 6 bottles of this restoring breakthrough, as that's the best option. And the reason is very simple. After hearing back from the numerous case studies of our 90,000 plus customers and spending months testing and refining the formula, we've discovered that a 6-bottle supply does the best job at fully re-strengthening the otolithic membrane in your ear so those otocondia crystals stay in place, while also dissolving all the loose crystals already floating around in your inner ear that scramble the balance signals to your brain. And with the 6-bottle option, you can reclaim them all for only $49 per bottle. Again, this is the biggest discount we've ever offered. And if you choose your package right now, you will risk absolutely nothing because we want you to be certain that this 7-second chewing breakthrough is right for you. We offer every single person a 60-day money-back guarantee. That means you have a full 60 days to test drive this anti-vertigo breakthrough solution for yourself. I know you'll be ecstatic with the results. But if for any reason you're not 100% satisfied with your order, simply contact our friendly support staff. Send back all the bottles, even if they're empty, and we will issue you a full refund. You know what? If you buy our 6-bottle package and you get rid of vertigo sooner than you expected, feel free to send us back the bottles you haven't used, and you'll get your money back for every single one of them. That is how confident we are that this solution can do wonders. To put it bluntly, if for any reason you are not thrilled with our solution, you pay nothing. That's just how I believe business should be done. Either you love our product or you don't pay a dime. What could be simpler than that? And because you're covered by our 60-day no-hassle money-back guarantee, why not take advantage of our 6-bottle highly discounted package? It really is the smartest option. I mean, you're protected either way. If you love this 7-second chewing breakthrough, you're locked into our lowest rate of just $49 per bottle, saving more than anybody else. And if this balance fixing formula doesn't work for you, then you simply ask for a refund and lose nothing. No matter what happens, you truly only have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Plus, when you secure the best supply of our inner ear rebalancing formula today, I'm also going to add 2 bonus books worth $109 absolutely free. So today only, when you invest in a 6-month supply of this balance fixing breakthrough, you'll also receive a free copy of Unbreakable Body: How to Bulletproof Your Joints and Bones Against Accidents. As you now know, keeping your balance means protecting yourself from unexpected injuries. And since you're already doing a lot to keep your body safe from harm today, we thought, why stop there? So I had Dr. Anderson collaborate with me on this guide. And in addition to learning effective strategies for boosting your bone density, when you read through Unbreakable Body, you'll also discover the bizarre hummingbird-inspired technique that improves your mobility almost overnight. The odd but easy morning hack that can help you get out of bed with ease and full of energy. Better than a Thai massage, 5 ancient pressure points to release stiffness and move with strength and fluidity. The sleep and relax position that increases bone and joint strength by 89%. And the second free book I'll be sharing with you today is really special. It's called Crystal Clear: Unlocking the Secrets to Perfect Hearing at Any Age. And in this book, you'll discover not just a step-by-step plan for drastically improving your hearing, but also what to add to your pillow to improve hearing while you sleep. It also makes your pillow more comfortable. How to hum your way to better hearing in just 1 minute per day. The #1 ear cleaning technique you can do at home to improve and protect your hearing. Plus, the worst way to clean your ears that can re-trigger your tinnitus. And why a weird chocolate and wine diet can improve your hearing tenfold. Hint, there's a secret to unlocking this healing potential. Both guides are yours free when you buy a 6-bottle package on sale, and you'll get access to them immediately. But that's not all, because when you order the discounted 6-month package, you'll also get free shipping, which is an additional saving of $9.95. But both the exclusive multi-bottle discount and the free shipping are limited. When we run out of this 7-second chewing breakthrough, it could take us months to restock. So choose the 6-bottle package or any other package below this video right now to secure your order. This is truly one of the wisest and most crucial investments you'll ever make to fix and protect your balance for years to come. So, given everything you've just been told by Dr. Peter Anderson, I'm sure you must be really excited to try this formula for yourself. All you have to do to claim your discount is simply click on the button below now to order the 6-month supply, or whichever amount makes the most sense to you. After you've selected your package, you'll then be taken to our secure order page where you can fill out your shipping and payment information. We use the same professional grade 256-bit encryption technology as places like Amazon, eBay, and Walmart, so you know your information is safe with us. Once you hit enter, you'll land on our confirmation page, which will carefully explain exactly what you can expect with your order. Now, I must warn you, sometimes we experience temporary out of stocks. Obviously, we do our best to avoid this, but that's just the simple reality of trying to get a product like this out to so many people placing big orders all at once. So you don't have to worry though, because as long as you're watching this video right now and don't see any out of stock icon popping up anywhere, then we still have bottles of this 7-second chewing breakthrough left in stock. But I really wanted to make this clear to you because I can't say for sure when we might run out of stock next. And I don't ever want you to be in that unfortunate situation where you fall in love with this 7-second chewing breakthrough only to come back to this page a month later to find out it's completely sold out. So that's just one more reason why our 6-bottle package is our most popular. Because not only will you get the full benefit of this 7-second chewing breakthrough, but you will also have plenty of time to place a follow-up order if you choose to. So just go ahead and order the 6-month supply, or whatever makes the most sense to you. Okay, we've reached that moment where a choice must be made. You've already discovered the science behind this groundbreaking solution, and seen the proof of how this anti-vertigo breakthrough has revolutionized the lives of over 90,000 men and women in just a few seconds each day, including my wife, Martha. This was the only thing that worked for her after she'd spent years being tortured by her vertigo, which is why Dr. Anderson and I have made every effort to ensure that ordering today is one of the simplest, most sensible decisions you'll ever make. Regardless of the size of your order, our 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee ensures you're 100% safeguarded. Ultimately, though, the decision is yours to make. Only you can take that initial step towards a dramatically new life. If you're still feeling a bit on the fence, then I ask you not to let fear or doubt stand in the way, because you are completely safe and protected. When you truly think about it, what other options do you have? I can only imagine the countless failed solutions you've tried in the past, leaving you feeling frustrated, anxious, and hopeless. I know, because I've likely tried all of them too. But now there's something entirely different before you. You could close this page right now, even after everything I've shared, but what would that change? You'd find yourself back on that treadmill of disappointments, another trip to the doctor for your vertigo, the frustration of learning that your balance is getting worse, feeling scared as the room spins around you, the way it affects your mobility, your ability to move without the fear of falling. We both know that's no way to live. This is why I'm extending my hand to offer you a way out. You don't even have to say yes. All you have to do is say maybe. You could be just moments away from feeling like you've been given a second chance at life. A life where you can move with confidence, where you navigate your world without fear, and where you live each day feeling in control. All of this and more could be waiting for you just on the other side of this page. And while the choice is entirely yours, I sincerely hope you make the right decision and reclaim your balance for good. All you need to do to get started is choose your package from below right now, and I'll be there on the other side to continue this journey with you. Regardless of your solution, I want to personally thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I wish you all the health and happiness in the world. Still with me? I understand we've discussed a lot. So let's address some of the most frequently asked questions I receive. Question number 1, how does the 7-second chewing breakthrough work again? As I explained earlier, this anti-vertigo breakthrough is packed with unique compounds that reinforce your otolithic membrane, the leveler in your inner ear. The otolithic membrane is crucial for maintaining your balance, but over time, tiny otocondia crystals can break loose from this membrane and float around in your ear canal. This is what causes the feeling of dizziness, vertigo, and imbalance. Our 7-second chewing breakthrough stops this from happening by strengthening the otolithic membrane so it holds the otocondia in place, and by dissolving the rogue otocondia that are floating around in your ear right now. This way you can regain your sense of balance and bid farewell to dizziness and vertigo. Question 2, who should take this 7-second chewing breakthrough? A decade ago, I would have recommended this anti-vertigo breakthrough only for people struggling with severe balance issues. Now, with the increasing number of people suffering from dizziness and vertigo, I suggest anyone who is even slightly worried about their balance should try it. Question 3. What happens after I click the button below? Once you select your package below, you'll be directed to our 100% secure checkout page. Just input your payment details and confirm your order. Rest assured, there is no automatic billing or anything like that. After that, you'll receive your order within the next 5 to 7 business days in a discreet package. You're less than a week away from regaining your balance and freeing yourself from the fear of falls and imbalance. Question 4. What if it doesn't work for me? That's simple. Remember, this offer comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. You have a full 60 days to decide if it's right for you. If you're like the countless men and women who have already benefited from this formula, you'll be ecstatic with the results. If for any reason you're not, just reach out to our customer service team and we'll refund your investment. All you have to do for a full refund is send us all the bottles, no matter if they're empty or not, and the packaging slip. Question 5. How long will this 7-second chewing breakthrough be available? That's a challenging question. My goal is to make a significant impact by helping people regain their balance and live fearlessly. However, given the pushback from the mainstream medical community and the current global situation affecting supply chain, it's uncertain how much longer this anti-vertigo breakthrough will be available. That's why it's crucial you get this 7-second chewing breakthrough today, especially since it comes with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee, which means there's zero risk to you. It's also why you should really stock up. Question 6. Okay, I want to try this 7-second chewing breakthrough. Now what? That's the easy part. Just click one of the buttons below and choose your package. Remember, you can get started and save over 70% by choosing our most popular 6-bottle package. Just fill out your details on the next page to complete your order, and this balance fixing formula will be in your hands within the next 5 to 7 business days. Plus, there's no risk because of my ironclad 60-day guarantee. This presentation is now ending, and I want to thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Go ahead and choose your package now. Use the 7-second chewing breakthrough as directed for at least 30 days, then reach out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.